I'm Dan Lobby. This is a preview of the Sugar Bowl between Ohio State and Alabama with Cleveland.com's Bill Landis and AL.com's Michael Casagrande. Our first question, the most improved player on each team. Go ahead, Michael. Tell us who it is.
Well, I think for Alabama, I think the guy who's improved the most, who came kind of almost out of nowhere this season, would be Reggie Ragland, the linebacker. He came in a few years ago as a highly recruited linebacker, but didn't see the field for his first two seasons. He was, of course, playing behind C.J. Mosley, who went on to All-American season last year, could be the Defensive Rookie of the Year this year in the NFL. But Ragland stepped in and really didn't skip a beat. He's the second leading tackler on the team. He was at the top of that list for a good part of the season. He's got 88 tackles. He's tough. He's fast. He played the LSU game, played through a broken hand in that game. He broke his hand earlier that week, made 13 tackles, was all over the place. He's improved some pass coverage. I guess sometimes that might be an issue going down the middle when he has to pick up somebody, a running back, maybe a tight end in coverage. But for the most part, he's kind of come, maybe not from nowhere since he was such a highly recruited guy, but he's had a huge season this year after competing for the job in the spring and the fall with Reuben Foster, another former top recruit.
Bill, who's the most improved player for Ohio State?
Well, Dan, when you talk about the most improved player on Ohio State, I think there are any number of guys you can choose from, frankly, because there are so many young players on this team, a lot of first and second year guys making impacts for the Buckeyes. When you have young guys, the hope is at least that they get better, and Ohio State certainly has a couple candidates in terms of who's been the most improved. I think if you were to talk about overall, from the start of the season until now, the most improved probably has to be quarterback J.T. Barrett, just with the progress he made throughout the year from relative unknown to Heisman Trophy candidate. But for the sake of this game, obviously Barrett will not be playing. So I'm going to go with running back Ezekiel Elliott. We posted this question on Cleveland.com about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, kind of breaking down the season, and we listed who we thought our most improved players were, and I had Elliott as mine. I believe Ari had Barrett, and I think Doug had Devin Smith. All three of those guys are candidates. There's others, Darren Lee, Joey Bosa. You go across the board, a lot of guys who are most improved. But for me, Elliott kind of made the jump from pretty good running back, a guy who you thought would be able to get some yards and maybe help chew some clock and things like that, to a guy who can take over a game. If you look at his last 5 games, he's got almost 700 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns in his last 5 games. And that is a far cry, I think, from what he looked like at the beginning of the season when the offense as a whole was young and still trying to get its legs underneath it. The offensive line is better, and Elliott has sort of been a benefactor of that.